Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Marcus Bass, and you just stepped on the baseline. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the first edition of On the Baseline with your boy Marcus Bass, Los Angeles Clippers writer for BallerMindFrame.com. Shout out to the Baller Mindframe family. Check us out there for all your NBA news, opinion, and analysis. www.ballermindframe.com. This is just my little place to rant and rave about the Clippers. I try to throw in a little NBA news here and there, but the bulk of what I talk about is Clippers, so Clip Nation, stand up. I just want to go over everything really quick from last night's game. The NBA season tipped off last night. Lakers versus Clippers. Lakers dropped Clippers to everyone's surprise. I think even a Laker Nation surprise. 116 to 103, excuse me. And Lakers bench poured in 76 points. They shot as a team 48% from the three-point line, and Xavier Henry went home with a career high of 22 points. The Clippers, on the other hand, didn't look too hot. They didn't really make their defensive rotations. They were out-rebounded 40 to 52. They obviously didn't defend the three-point line well. They had just a lack of focus, and it was the complete opposite of what you'd expect from a team that gained a championship caliber coach in Doc Rivers over the summer. So they've definitely got a few things to work on. I will talk about the good really quick. DeAndre Jordan's stat line was pretty much on par with his preseason play. I think most of Clipper Nation will be happy to hear that. He came home with 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 block shots. Chris Paul was Chris Paul. He had 11 assists. Blake Griffin led all scorers led the Clippers scorers rather with 19 points, and Jamal Crawford contributed 15 off of the bench. Darren Collison had some pretty solid play. Definitely showed off his athleticism and speed versus Jordan Farmar. So that's definitely going to be a positive point for the Clippers in their second unit. But there really wasn't much to talk about after that. Matt Barnes seems to be kind of rounding out and getting into season shape. I think it's going to take him maybe another 3 to 4 games to kind of get his timing back and get his rhythm going. The Clippers bench just seems to be completely lost. The Clippers starting unit and the bench have a complete lack of identity right now. I think they're trying to be a very defensive-focused team, but obviously last night's stats say otherwise. JJ Redick, started out really hot in the first quarter, then just kind of disappeared for the rest of the game. I mean, he had 10 points in the first quarter, then he had 3 for the rest of the game. So, Mike D'Antoni made his adjustments on him at the half and pretty much shut him down. So that's something that the Clippers will have to work on, getting him free in later moments of the game so that, he can stay consistent and provide those needed jump shots and that three-point shooting threat that'll spread the floor for Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. Speaking of Blake, I do want to talk about Blake for a really quick second because I'm getting a really big love-hate relationship with Blake Griffin right now. At times he shows flashes of being NBA power forward elite, and other times, NBA power forward mediocrity. On the other hand, Bob Tate really needs to be fired because Blake Griffin's jump shot has just not improved over the last 3 seasons. And more so, I think most of Clipper Nation, definitely including myself, was wondering what Blake Griffin worked on over the summer. I mean, it's every single offseason has been the same 2 things: develop an outside jump shot and, get better at the free throw line. Well, 3 things: develop an outside jump shot, work harder at the free throw line, and also develop some post moves. And he was just completely horrible at all of those. He was 0 from 3 from the outside. His free throw stats weren't very impressive. And, although he, went home with 19 points, and I think he shot I think he had 66% in field goal shooting. Most of them were right under the basket, and some of them were dunks. So, to Blake, you gotta have you step it up, player. And to Doc Rivers, you're going to have to get Blake Griffin involved a little earlier. He seems to check out when things aren't really going his way early on. I think that definitely happened last night. You can see that he was visually frustrated, and Doc Rivers pulled him out early because of that. So, Doc, you got to get him some good, early looks, get him involved, get his energy level high so that, he stays consistent through the rest of the game. Another point of emphasis is definitely Jamal Crawford, who, in my opinion, looks a little stifled in this catch and shoot role that Doc Rivers has put him in. Last year he was a huge, big part of the Clippers bench. He's got a career average of 16.5, and although he, netted 15 points last night, most of those points were off of Clipper offensive breakdowns. The plays, first and second looks really don't work, and then or they're well defended. And then Jamal Crawford ends up with the ball at the top, and then he's got to shake and bake and shoot a contested shot, and sometimes he hits, sometimes he doesn't. But Doc Rivers has to let him go a little bit. He thrives well off of isolation. I think he's one of the better isolation players, better isolation bench players in NBA. And you really just have to play to his strengths. At this point, he's a veteran. They do say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And I think Jamal Crawford will adjust to his new role, but I think there needs to be a little bit of room for him to just be who he's going to be. Outside of that, it's one game, Clipper Nation. Don't get too frustrated. Don't go jump off a bridge. The NBA season is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So hopefully, everything looks better. I'm sure Doc Rivers will make his adjustments for the upcoming game this Thursday against the Warriors, which is the Clippers' home opener. So let's look forward to that. I'm pretty sure the Clippers will take care of business. Before I jet, I do want to give a huge shout out to Eric Spoelstra. Miami Heat got their NBA championship rings last night. And players have a tendency to kind of check out right after the ring ceremony. They get, really elated with seeing that, shiny rock on their finger. And they forget about the game at hand. And Eric Spoelstra opened up the game in a 2-2-1 defensive trap, which, in my opinion, really set the tone for Miami, and it led to some early turnovers from Chicago and some easy buckets for Miami, which was a theme for the rest of the night as Miami just played really stifling defense on them. So shout out to Eric Spoelstra for that, who in my opinion had the on the baseline move of the night. So with that, once again, I am Marcus Bass, Los Angeles Clippers writer for Baller Mindframe, and this is On the Baseline. Tune in after the Clipper game this coming Thursday. We'll talk about the Clippers' outcome versus the Warriors. So until then, stay chill. Peace.